The fluorescent lights of Save Mart cast their usual sterile glow across aisle 7, where Detective Sarah Chen reached for a box of cereal she didn't really want. After 16 years on the force, grocery shopping had become her meditation, a rare moment when she wasn't hunting down leads or staring at crime scene photos. But something made her pause. A flash of movement. A small hand, trembling, pressing against the glass door of the frozen food section. And there, traced in the condensation with a desperate finger, "Help." Sarah's blood ran cold. She'd seen countless distress signals in her career, but never like this. Never from a child who couldn't have been more than 8 years old, with tangled brown hair and eyes that held secrets no child should carry. The little girl glanced around nervously before her gaze locked with Sarah's, and in that split second, an entire conversation happened without words. "Please, see me. Save me." The detective's training kicked in instantly. She didn't rush toward the girl, that would spook whoever might be watching. Instead, Sarah continued her shopping, casually making her way closer while her mind raced through possibilities. Kidnapping, abuse, trafficking. The girl stood next to a woman in her 40s with bleached blonde hair and a tight smile that never reached her eyes, the kind of smile Sarah had learned to distrust. "Emma, stop touching everything," the woman snapped, yanking the girl's arm with unnecessary force. The child flinched, and Sarah caught it, that instinctive recoil of someone who knew pain intimately. Emma. At least now she had a name. Sarah watched as they moved toward the checkout lanes, her detective's eye cataloging every detail. The woman's expensive handbag contrasted sharply with Emma's worn, too small clothes. The way Emma walked slightly behind, never beside. The absence of any warmth between them. Red flags weren't just waving, they were screaming. At the register, Sarah positioned herself 2 lanes over, close enough to observe. Emma's fingers drummed against her leg in a strange pattern. 3 quick taps, pause, 2 taps, pause, 3 taps. SOS. This child was using Morse code. Sarah's heart clenched. What kind of desperation taught a little girl Morse code? As they headed for the exit, Sarah made her decision. She abandoned her cart and followed, maintaining enough distance to avoid suspicion but staying close enough to intervene if needed. In the parking lot, Emma stumbled deliberately, dropping a small stuffed rabbit near Sarah's feet. When the detective bent to pick it up, she found a tiny note tucked into the rabbit's collar, written in shaky pencil, "Not my mom. Real mom gone 3 months. Help. Apt 4B, Riverside Complex." The woman, whoever she was, hadn't noticed. She was too busy loading groceries into a rusted blue sedan with out-of-state plates. Sarah committed the license number to memory, then approached with the rabbit held out like a peace offering. "Excuse me, I think your daughter dropped this," Sarah said, her voice deliberately soft, unthreatening. The woman spun around, her smile plastic and tight. "Oh, how clumsy. Thank you so much." She reached for the toy, but Emma was faster, grabbing it and clutching it to her chest. "Thank you," Emma whispered, and her eyes met Sarah's again. "Don't leave me. Please don't leave me." Sarah wanted to grab the child right then, to shield her from whatever hell she was living in, but she needed to be smart. A wrong move could escalate the situation, could get Emma hurt, or worse. "You know," Sarah said carefully, "I just realized I left something inside. Let me help you load your car first." "That's not necessary," the woman said quickly, too quickly. "We're fine." But Sarah was already taking a grocery bag, positioning herself between Emma and the woman, creating a barrier. "I insist. It's no trouble at all." She caught Emma's eye and mouthed 2 words, "I'm police." The relief that flooded the child's face was heartbreaking. Her shoulders dropped, tension releasing as if someone had cut invisible strings holding her up. Emma had been strong for so long, carrying this burden alone, and now, finally, someone saw her. The woman's agitation grew with each passing second. She kept glancing toward the street, checking her phone. Waiting for someone. Running from someone. Sarah's instinct screamed that time was running out. "You know what?" Sarah said, making a show of checking her own phone. "I actually need to make a quick call. Emma, would you like to help me find something inside real quick? I can't remember where they keep the—" "We really need to go," the woman interrupted, her hand shooting out to grab Emma's wrist. But Sarah was faster, stepping between them with her badge now visible on her hip. "Ma'am, I'm going to need you to take your hand off the child." The woman's face transformed, the fake sweetness evaporating to reveal something cold and calculating underneath. "She's my daughter. You have no right. Then you won't mind if I verify that." Sarah's hand rested casually near her weapon. "Emma, honey, what's your full name?" "Emma Grace Mitchell," the girl said clearly, her voice stronger now. "And this woman took me from the park 3 months ago. Her name is Karen something. She took me from my mom. Everything happened fast after that." The woman tried to run, but Sarah was already calling for backup, already reading Miranda rights while keeping Emma safely behind her. Other shoppers had gathered, some filming on their phones, others asking if they could help. An elderly man stayed with Emma, offering her cookies from his own grocery bag while telling her jokes to distract her from the chaos. The backup units arrived within minutes, Sarah's partner, Detective Mike Rodriguez, leading the charge. "You couldn't just buy cereal like a normal person," he joked, but his eyes were serious as he took custody of the suspect. Sarah knelt down to Emma's level, her own eyes burning with unshed tears. "You are the bravest person I've ever met. Do you know that?" Emma's composure finally cracked. She threw her arms around Sarah's neck and sobbed, deep, wrenching sobs that came from months of fear and loneliness and desperate hope. Sarah held her, whispering reassurances, promising that she was safe now, that they would find her mother, that everything would be okay. And they did find her mother. Linda Mitchell had been searching frantically for 3 months, had plastered Emma's face on every website and street corner, had refused to give up hope even when the police trail went cold. The reunion happened at the police station 6 hours later, and Sarah watched as mother and daughter collided in the kind of embrace that makes you believe in miracles. "Thank you," Linda sobbed, clutching Sarah's hand while refusing to let go of Emma with the other. "Thank you for seeing her. Thank you for not walking away." Later that night, Sarah sat in her apartment staring at the box of cereal she'd finally purchased, from a different store, after filing mountains of paperwork. Her phone buzzed with a text from Mike. "You know what you did today, right? You gave that kid her life back." But it was Emma who had given Sarah something too, a reminder of why she'd become a cop in the first place. Not for the adrenaline or the paycheck, but for moments exactly like this. For the chance to see someone, truly see them, and choose to act. The next week, Linda brought Emma to the station with a card she'd made herself. Inside, in careful, crayon letters, were the words, "Thank you for finding my help sign. You're my hero." Sarah kept that card on her desk for the rest of her career, a daily reminder that sometimes the smallest signals carry the biggest messages. That a child's desperate SOS written in condensation could change everything. That paying attention, really paying attention, to the quiet cries for help around us might be the most important thing we ever do. Because we all carry invisible signs sometimes, hoping someone will notice, will care enough to follow us out of the darkness. Sarah had noticed. She had followed. And in doing so, she'd proven something profound. That humanity's greatest power isn't in our strength or our weapons or our laws. It's in our willingness to see each other's suffering and say, without hesitation, "I'm here. You're not alone. Let me help." Emma Mitchell grew up to become a social worker, dedicating her life to helping other children find their voices when the world tried to silence them. And every time she introduced herself, she wore a small silver necklace, a tiny rabbit charm, a reminder that salvation sometimes comes from the most unexpected places, offered by strangers who choose to be heroes in the frozen food aisle of an ordinary supermarket on an ordinary day.